The story opens with Matt Quimby, who wakes from a bad dream. But his real life is no better. The woman he loves, Claire, is seriously ill. She has cancer, and her time is running out. Matt cares for her constantly, and his cousin Harold often checks in to support them. Everyone knows the truth. Claire may not survive, and Matt will eventually have to face it. A nurse named Gwen visits occasionally for Claire's checkups. On this day, Matt has called her to collect a blood sample. Claire dislikes medical procedures and even stopped her chemo treatments midway, but she still agrees to give the sample. During their conversation, we learn Claire was a music composer and recently sold her studio. Meanwhile, Matt and Harold are secretly building a small music room for Claire in the basement as a surprise. Claire has also been drinking herbal juices lately, hoping they help her feel better. After Gwen finishes and prepares to leave, Matt distracts her, part of a plan he and Harold set up. They want to quietly take Claire's blood sample so neither Claire nor Gwen notices. While Matt keeps Gwen talking, Harold steals the vial without raising suspicion. Once she leaves, Harold asks Matt why he needed the sample. Matt refuses to explain, saying only that he wants a second opinion. Harold didn't push for answers, and Matt continued with his plan. That evening, he visited a bar where his friend Lily worked. She briefly opened up about caring for her mother, who struggled with memory issues and how exhausting it had become. Soon after, Al Evans arrived, the man Matt had secretly arranged to meet. Al told him that his own daughter had once been close to losing her life, until he discovered an unusual method that saved her. His story sounded unreal, almost mystical. Al claimed there was an old bag connected to a ritual that could heal someone. If Matt wanted to help Claire, he needed to keep the bag at home and follow the ritual exactly. Before giving it to him, Al asked whether Matt truly wanted to go through with it. Matt, desperate and willing to try anything, agreed. The bag was heavier than Matt expected, so Al helped him take it to a small empty room in the basement. Before leaving, Al explained the rules. After dark, Matt must light a candle, place it on the floor, pour Claire's blood into the bag, and make one single wish. Very carefully. After the ritual, Al gave Matt 3 rules. Don't talk to the bag, don't look at it, and don't touch it until everything is complete. Matt questioned why he'd ever talk to a bag, but Al insisted the rules were important, then left. Claire knew nothing about any of this. That day, she shared a music piece she had composed, which Matt really liked. When night came, he performed the ritual exactly as instructed and wished for Claire to get better. As he left the room, his lighter fell. He picked it up quickly without looking, still following the rules. The next day, strange things started. Matt heard Claire's voice in the basement while she was asleep upstairs. Later, he heard her again through an audio device. That night, he heard her speaking harshly, saying things like, "Matt should have been the one with the illness." But when he checked, Claire said she hadn't spoken at all. More voices followed, all sounding like Claire, negative, hurtful, and aimed at breaking him down. The pressure on Matt grew stronger. He tried to ignore it, but it kept getting worse. He even received calls with Claire's voice describing pain and fear connected to her illness, always filled with dark, heavy comments. Matt slowly began to feel as if he really was a selfish, terrible person, just like the voices said. One day, Harold visited and tried to calm him. He shared that his ex-wife had lost her son, and in her grief, she began hearing his voice and seeing things that weren't there. Harold only wanted Matt to understand that if Claire passed away, he would also need to stay strong and hold himself together. While talking, Harold was playing golf indoors, and the ball rolled into the room where the bag was kept. Matt immediately told him to leave it and not go inside. Harold found this strange. After Matt stepped out, Harold entered anyway and saw the bag, breaking one of the ritual rules. Soon after, Matt started having disturbing dreams. The next day, while sitting outside, he saw a strange girl staring at him with a dark mark on her right palm. Later, he noticed Claire trying to do small tasks on her own, which gave him hope that she was improving. When Harold returned and asked about the bag in the basement, Matt got angry. He reminded Harold that he had warned him not to go inside and said he would never give up on saving Claire, no matter what it took. Later, Harold quietly asked Claire why she had stopped her chemo treatments. Claire avoided giving a direct answer, most likely because she already knew her chances of survival were very low. After Harold left, Claire wanted to go outside for a bit, so Matt helped her out of the room. But his situation was worsening. He wasn't just hearing voices anymore. He began seeing another version of Claire, and the strange girl with the black mark on her palm kept appearing regularly, which frightened him. One day, while opening a parcel, Matt imagined Claire's head inside the box and panicked. When he looked again, it was just a broken framed photo. Realizing things were getting out of hand, he tried contacting Al to explain everything, but couldn't reach him. The next day, Matt saw Claire move her wheelchair on her own and come to the kitchen, which made him hopeful. She even wanted to help him bake a cake, but when he noticed how frightening her hands looked, he realized something was messing with his mind. He shouted, and Claire quietly returned to her room. The situation kept getting worse. The strange calls continued, and Matt was constantly anxious. When Harold visited, he apologized, and Matt opened up. Claire's illness began at age 30, even though their life had been good. Matt tried everything: treatments, support groups, even spiritual options. But nothing worked. Now he was seeing disturbing things, even though Claire was still alive. Overwhelmed, Matt broke down, and Harold comforted him, saying he would always be there for him. That night, Matt went to check on Claire and realized she had tried to end her life. He wrapped her hand quickly and called 911. The woman on the call first tried to calm him, but then suddenly called Claire by name. Matt froze and asked how she knew Claire. She told him he should end his own life too, and claimed he brought the bag home because he wanted to be free of Claire. She added that Matt had already hurt her. When Matt looked down, he saw a blood-stained tool in his hand. Before he could react, Claire appeared behind him and tried to suffocate him with a blanket. But then Matt woke up. It had all been a nightmare. Claire was standing right in front of him. She said she wanted to sleep next to him, and they lay close together. Moments later, she felt sick and went to the bathroom, giving a disturbing smile as she left. While she was in the bathroom, Matt got a call from Claire's phone. Claire said she was in her bed. Terrified, Matt wondered who was in the bathroom. He grabbed a golf stick and checked, but the room was empty except for dark vomit in the sink. When he returned, he noticed Claire's vape on the table, which led to a small argument between them. While standing by the window, Matt saw the same mysterious girl outside again, smiling at him. He followed her, but then noticed the back door of the house was open, so he rushed back inside. This was the same girl who had been appearing to him for days. She kept showing up and disappearing before he could reach her. Following her downstairs, Matt ended up in the basement. When he saw the bag, he panicked and dropped his flashlight. A hand suddenly reached out from inside the bag. At the same moment, the girl screamed into his ear, startling him. Then, fingers appeared under the basement door, and a voice, sounding like Claire, begged to be let in. Matt yelled back, terrified and unsure what to do. He realized he had dragged himself into something extremely dangerous. The next day, Clare wasn't in her room, so Matt searched the house in panic. He finally found her in the basement studio, acting completely normal. Matt was overjoyed. Clare was happy with the studio too, and Matt briefly believed the ritual had worked. He started hinting that he had done something to help her heal, but Clare said she was still sick. She was only wearing a wig. She tearfully explained she stopped chemo because the pain was unbearable, and she didn't want her final days to be full of suffering. Just then, Gwen called, upset that Clare's blood sample had gone missing. Matt told her he was trying another method and believed it was helping. While he was on the phone, Clare walked into the room where the bag was kept. Moments later, Matt heard her scream. When he rushed down, Gwen was on the floor having violent seizures. Matt quickly carried her back upstairs to Clare's room. After seeing Gwen's condition, Matt decided he had to return the bag to Al. Since Al's number wasn't working, he searched online but found nothing. Strange images suddenly appeared on his laptop, making Matt even more certain he needed to get rid of the bag. He went back to the bar where he first met Al and asked Lily, but she didn't know much. Noticing an old phone directory, she searched through it and eventually found Al's address. Matt thanked her and left immediately. At Al's house, Matt was stunned when the girl who opened the door was the same one he kept seeing near his home. She greeted him by name and said she had been expecting him. Her name was Peggy, and she was Al's daughter. Matt told her he had seen her at his house, and she smiled, saying she saw him in dreams and that he and Clare were special. She explained she appears only to desperate, struggling people, and that Matt would understand everything later. Al arrived and sent Peggy away. He was surprised to see Matt, saying Matt should be home because tonight was the final night of the ritual. Matt explained the strange events happening to him. Al realized Matt must have broken a rule and said the visions and fear were all part of the process. He admitted he went through the same thing and assured Matt everything would settle once the ritual finished. Inside the house, Matt heard Peggy vomiting. Al explained that the ritual would bring Clare back, but from Al's words and by looking at his daughter, it was clear that she would not be the real Clare. Matt understood the truth. The ritual only works after the sick person dies, and what returns is a soulless version of them. Al warned him the voices and visions would keep increasing. When Matt checked on Peggy, he was shocked to see her throwing up thick black fluid. It confirmed she had once been seriously ill, and Al had used the same ritual to bring her back, though even he didn't know what she truly was now. Frightened, Matt tried to leave, but Al told him that when the time came, he must place Clare's body inside the bag. Matt ran home in panic. At home, Harold was waiting. When they checked on Clare, she had already passed away. Both men were heartbroken, and Matt broke down completely, but he refused to accept her death. Matt went to the basement and told Harold to bring the bag up to Clare's room. Thinking Matt was in shock, Harold carried it upstairs. But when Matt said they needed to place Clare's body inside the bag, Harold refused, calling it insanity. This made Matt furious and unstable. The argument grew intense, and Matt finally placed Clare's body into the bag himself. Harold was horrified and couldn't understand anything. Matt waited, hoping Clare would come back, but nothing happened. Panicking, he ran out of the room. Harold stayed behind, and then the bag began to move. Something inside started crawling toward him. Terrified, Harold screamed. Hearing his scream, Matt rushed there and saw that Harold had been attacked on the neck. He died on the spot. Matt then saw a horrifying entity coming after him. It looked monstrous. As Matt tried to escape, he fainted. When he woke up, the creature was still there. Matt tried to run, but it spoke in Claire's voice, thanking him for saving her. Matt realized this was not Claire, but before he could react, the entity grabbed him and kissed him, leaving thick black slime on his mouth. Matt began vomiting and struggled to breathe. Barely able to speak, he called Gwen for help, but she couldn't understand him. Hearing his distress, Gwen rushed to his house. After some time, Gwen arrived at the house. Matt opened the door, but his behavior had completely changed. He was calm, quiet, and didn't mention anything about what had happened. When Gwen asked if he was okay, Matt claimed he must have called her by mistake. As she prepared to leave, Gwen asked to see Claire. Matt allowed her to go to the room, unaware, or pretending not to know, that the terrifying entity was still inside the house. The moment Gwen went to check on Claire, the creature attacked her and ended her life, consuming her. The scene then shifts. We see Matt at the bar with Lily, who is again talking about her sick mother. Matt tells her that everything can be fixed, if she's willing to do anything. Lily replies that she would do whatever it takes. This makes it clear Matt plans to pass the bag on to her next. After that, Matt returns home to Claire, who now appears completely healthy. But is she really Claire? The black mark on her palm shows she isn't. She is the reborn version created by the entity. The bag and the being inside it needs sacrifices. Matt already provided Harold and Gwen. Now he plans to give the bag to someone else in desperate need, continuing the cycle. The bag spreads like a sickness, moving from one broken person to the next, causing more deaths. And with this haunting idea, the film ends.